Hey guys, I'm Kayla. Happy New Year. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about hypertrophic scarring. I get a lot of questions about a mysterious piercing bump, also known as irritation bump, a keloid, a bubble, a pimple. All of these are referring to hypertrophic scarring. Piercing bumps or hypertrophic scarring are very common for body piercings. They are not keloids. Most people reference to them as keloids, but they are not keloids. Hypertrophic scarring is generally smaller and sits right next to or near the piercing, whereas keloids can grow an extreme amount larger than hypertrophic scarring does. Most people experience hypertrophic scarring while their piercing is healing. This does not mean that it's an infection. So what causes hypertrophic scarring? Usually hypertrophic scarring comes from any trauma to the piercing, such as bumping it, sleeping on it, getting it snagged on anything, touching it too often. If you have improper jewelry that's continuously moving back and forth, that can also cause hypertrophic scarring. Oh, and if you use something too harsh to clean the area, it can also cause it to flare up a little bit. Basically, it's your body's way of protecting the area. If you find that your piercing is starting to have a little bit of irritation and the bump is starting to form, then just be as gentle as you can with the area. Be really cautious. The best way to avoid getting hypertrophic scarring is to leave it alone. Keep your hands off as much as possible. A word that I shared with you guys in a previous video is litha, L-I-T-H-A. Leave it the heck alone. The most common places to get hypertrophic scarring are around the cartilage on the ear or on the nose. These places are more often caught or snagged. Sleeping on it is a big factor for ear piercings. So just be really careful if you do have these piercings and you're worried about getting a piercing bump, or if you have these piercings and you have a piercing bump, I'll let you know a few ways to help get rid of it. So how do you prevent it? Just be very cautious. Being cautious is really important when it comes to any new piercing. Be aware when you're in the shower, sleeping, brushing your hair, or if you have hair in general, try not to get it tangled or snagged. Just keep it clipped up, or you can even shave part of your head. Not as excessive as I've done, but maybe just around your ear. Your hair does grow back, and if you have longer hair, you can always cover that shaved area while it's growing. If you do shave your hair, it's a great indicator of how long your piercing has to heal. Usually it only takes a few months for your hair to grow back. So if you shave a little bit of the area and let that hair grow out, that's about how long it would take your piercing to heal. Also be aware of other people. People around you, family and friends, can bump into your piercing. I've experienced this when hugging people, or if they're, if they're messing with my hair or anything. Just let them know, be verbal, and let them know to be cautious with their ear or your nose. So how do you get rid of hypertrophic scarring? There are a couple different cures that have been floating around the internet and from word of mouth of other piercers and clients that I've talked to. It is definitely possible that your bump or bubble will go away on its own. If you would like to take action, the most effective way to get rid of it is just retire the piercing. You can just take the jewelry out and let it close up and then start over again later on. If you do this, now you know what to expect. So maybe in the future, it would be easier for you not to run into this problem. If you do decide to retire a piercing, the best way to go about that is to ask a professional to help you. They can be very sterile and clean when removing jewelry, and if you're worried that the jewelry is too difficult to take out, they can definitely do that no problem. There are a few different ways to treat hypertrophic scars. Saline soaks, tea tree oil, and other natural ingredients can help settle irritation, but you might have a little bit more noticeable results by using a topical anti-inflammatory. You can ask a doctor or maybe over-the-counter pharmacy for any kind of topical anti-inflammatory. Hypertrophic scars are inflamed from irritation, so applying something like this can definitely settle irritation and help the bump decrease in size a little bit faster than whereas if you didn't use it. Usually you want to apply your choice of treatment for at least 7 days, just once a day for a week. The best time to do this is right before you go to bed. Usually I recommend cleaning your piercing twice a day, in the morning when you wake up and at night before you go to bed. So after you clean it before you go to bed, just apply a little bit of your solution and then go to sleep, and usually in the morning you can clean the solution off when you're cleaning your piercing. I have personally used an aspirin paste for my hypertrophic scars in the past, but I do understand that there's a lot of problems with this. Some people can be allergic to aspirins and things like that, so it's best to talk to a doctor if they're knowledgeable about hypertrophic scarring. They'll definitely recommend a better solution than aspirin. Just know that some solutions are not for everybody. So, will the hypertrophic scar come back after you've done the solution and seen noticeable results? Of course it will. If your piercing is still healing, it can come back. Usually any of the treatments on hypertrophic scarring will not work if you don't narrow down what's causing the bump. You need to identify the problem. Why is this bump happening? Try to find the cause. And the next thing is to eliminate the problem. Try to use a travel pillow to sleep on. Maybe use hair clips to keep your hair out of the way. Maybe it's your solution that you're using. You can try using a different solution. Keeping your hands off is the #1 thing to do. Basically, the solutions that you could apply to the scar are just going to alleviate it a little bit faster. These solutions will only help recovery faster. They are not a quick fix whatsoever. Because hypertrophic scars only form when a piercing is fresh, there's a possibility that it can return. All you have to do is repeat the process that you used previously, and it should help it go away. Once your piercing is completely healed, the scar will never return. And that's it. If you have any questions, please write me in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment if you have questions. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Bye.